see you. Hey. Let's make a headshot.
Right?
Best. I promise you none of these niggas gonna beat me. None of them. I'm gonna make an example out of Tio. That's the only thing I love. I promise they got me up.
Honestly, the most flawless from 123 all the way down to 114. Since then, he's had his shares of victories.
Shakur Stevenson has noticeably added size, bulking up as he prepares to face Teofimo Lopez at a 140-pound catch weight on January 31st.
Work hard, sacrifices, discipline, time away from my family. How you gonna beat me? Ain't no way you can beat me that way, bro. Keep saying I'm the best. Niggas don't want this shit more than me. I know it. I know it. I want this so bad. So bad. Shit easy, yeah.
Easy, bro.
Easy.
Always easy, bro.
You already know.
Always easy, bro.
This supposed to be a sprint. This ain't no sprinting.
No, it's a job. So we ready.
Focused and driven in camp, he trains relentlessly, pushing his limits, sharpening his skills, and building the strength needed to assert himself in the upcoming fight.
Both legs, we hit it for 3, we rested, we did 3 more. And we're trying to get that 1.0 meters per second, maximize our power. I had you at about 120, 125, but we're gonna add some reps and lighten the weight a little bit.
Terrence Crawford regularly trains alongside Shakur Stevenson, offering mentorship through shared techniques and intense sparring, pushing Stevenson to sharpen his skills, strengthen his mindset, and build resilience through demanding, lesson-filled sessions.
I was missing that one. There it go. There it go. There it go. God. Here it go. He trying to run me into the wall. Y'all didn't see that? He trying Man, I performed. You know that. I told y'all what I was going to do. I was going to come out here and beat his ass every game. And look, he's thinking about saying, let's play again.
Shakur Stevenson is honing his speed, footwork, punches, and reactions with laser focus, aiming to overwhelm opponents with quick, precise movements. Teofimo Lopez acknowledges Stevenson's talent at 135 pounds, but questions how he will perform at 140 pounds, noting that only the upcoming fight will show how well Stevenson adapts to the higher weight.
Honestly, the most flawless from 123 all the way down to 114. Since then, he's had his shares of victories. I think 135 was his top tier. 140, I think we just gotta wait and see. You know what I mean? And for him to even come up to do that, you know, I think he deserves his flowers for everyone else out there. You know, guys trying to go more down into the ranks of top 5, top 3, and eventually top 1 for pound.
But that ain't what you said, bro.
What'd I say?
I mean, I gotta remind you, you said basically I'm good at the lower weight classes. The only way that I'm going to be good is I fight at 126 pounds against guys like Inoue. But once I move up, you're going to, well, I can't compete at this level at that weight class.
Antonio Tarver approaches this matchup with the insight of a seasoned boxing mind, looking beyond records or recent performances. He emphasizes that Teofimo Lopez cannot be underestimated. His natural gifts like speed, power, and explosiveness remain intact and make him a serious threat to anyone in the division. Tarver warns that against a technical fighter like Shakur Stevenson, Lopez only needs one opening to turn the fight, and any hesitation or misstep could prove costly.
Yeah, I mean, smart money would be on the boxer, Shakur Stevenson, winning the decision. But, if Lopez can make this fight, a lot tougher than expected, and he's going to have to exchange with Shakur. He's a fast fighter. We don't know who's the quickest or fastest here. You have to give the speed edge to Shakur. But if Lopez can punch with this fast guy, make him a little bit cautious and a little bit leery of what's coming back, that serves him well. But Teofimo is one of the best conditioned fighters out there. If this fight goes late, you can expect him to be pushing forward round 9, 10, and 11 if it goes late.
Yeah, a big question is always like what Teo is going to show up. And like when everyone's counted out Teo, it's actually been the times where he's like upset people, like against Lomachenko, against Josh Taylor, fights to the level of his competition. And I've been thinking like, hey, if we get the best version of Teo, like the Teo that showed up for those fights, does that Teo beat the best Shakur?
It would have to. I think that's the only chance he got, is to really be his ultra self, doing all the things that makes him Teofimo Lopez. The footwork could be a major advantage for him. Being able to get inside. A lot of times he fights free. He don't really have a style. He does what it takes. And he's a gutsy fighter. Real gutsy. He's not going to be leery to take chances. He's a gambler in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live underdog, I would say. A live underdog, but if he's to win this fight, I think he has to probably...
Zab Judah sees this matchup as a true meeting of elite talent, not just a battle fueled by hype. He notes that both fighters are equally determined to prove their superiority, unwilling to yield mentally or physically. From Judah's perspective, this isn't a fight won by size or raw power alone. It's about who can impose their skill under pressure. With both athletes known for confidence and discipline, he predicts a contest full of tactical adjustments, intensity, and high-stakes moments. Judah believes that neither fighter backing down elevates this bout into a genuine test of ability rather than just a spectacle.
It's two dog fighters. You got two dog fighters that's coming in there to solidify themselves as the game changer. Teo's not gonna lay down. Shakur is not gonna lay down. It's gonna be skill versus skill. Teo's a very talented, skillful fighter. Shakur is a very extremely talented, skillful fighter. And yes, we're gonna see a hell of a great chess match that night.
Yeah, I believe so. Now, I think in your earlier predictions, you felt like Shakur will be stopping Teo? Am I right?
Annihilation, decapitation. Is that what you're talking about? You going back to my comments? Yeah. I feel like Teo's a very dominant force, but I just think that the skills of Shakur Stevenson is gonna overwhelm Teo. It's gonna overwhelm. Yeah. He's never seen this type of action before yet.
Now,
no disrespect. Okay. It's my little man, you know what I'm saying? Just saying, yo, it is what it is.
Looking at, the stats, the resumes, we see that, Teo has been at this high level for a long time. Right. When it comes to Shakur Stevenson, his amateur record speaks for itself, but at the same time, not necessarily getting the notable names that people know in America. People are also saying that they're kind of discrediting Shakur's resume, saying he hasn't really fought anybody. Teofimo Lopez would be that first person. Do you feel like that could be something that, I don't know, it could be a lot closer than what people think?
I mean, listen, the fight's gonna be a lot closer than people think. We just blabbing our mouth and running off what we think our professional opinion is. These are two talented, great young fighters in here. You know what I'm saying? Teo's not gonna back down. Shakur's not gonna back down. We're gonna get an exciting 12-round fights or however long it should last. We're gonna have an exciting fight. And I'm expecting both guys to come in there and leave everything they got.
Shakur Stevenson poses a challenge that few fighters can truly figure out. Instead of relying on sheer aggression or non-stop punches, he asserts control in a nuanced, strategic way. Stevenson concentrates on closing openings rather than forcing the action, gradually dictating the pace and flow of the fight on his terms. His defensive awareness, precise positioning, and impeccable timing make every exchange difficult for opponents. As a result, fighters must work extra hard just to land clean shots, often becoming frustrated or impatient as the rounds progress.
Really might 12 vote Teofimo Lopez. People love talking about this resume that Teofimo Lopez has. Granted, it's a really good resume. He has guys like Lomachenko under his belt, Josh Taylor. But if I'm being honest, Josh Taylor played into what Teofimo Lopez wanted him to do so perfectly. Lomachenko, he lost that fight more than Teofimo won that fight, if I'm being honest. And against lower level competition, like a Steve Claggett, like a Jermaine Ortiz, like a Kambosos.
This style makes Stevenson both frustrating and unpredictable in the ring. He rarely reveals patterns, and when an opponent adjusts, he counters with seamless adaptability. Against a fighter like Lopez, who relies on rhythm, confidence, and momentum, Stevenson's approach becomes especially dangerous. His ability to disrupt flow before it fully develops can neutralize Lopez's natural strengths. What sets Stevenson apart even more is his composure. He stays calm under pressure and rarely panics when the fight shifts. This steadiness allows him to read opponents in real time and make precise, decisive adjustments. Facing Stevenson requires patience, discipline, and emotional control, qualities that test even the most talented athletes. For Lopez, this fight is as much a mental challenge as a physical one.
About a focused Teo. A focused Teo was only unfocused with one fight his whole life, and that was George Kambosos, and that's the only fight I'll give y'all. No matter who Shakur fought, he's looked great against everybody. No matter it's the bums that y'all say he fights or the number one guys in the division, Shakur Stevenson has dominated everybody. It's gonna be a sight to see. Shakur Stevenson on fight night is going to make fireworks happen, and I can't wait to see it. I've already gave my stance on this, but Shakur Stevenson it's just his time, and Teo's just...
Lopez's career experienced a noticeable turning point after his loss to George Kambosos, a defeat that interrupted the momentum he had once carried so confidently. Prior to that setback, his performances displayed sharp focus and consistent execution. Since then, his in-ring displays have been uneven, showing flashes of brilliance alongside moments of lapses in discipline. Yet, inconsistency doesn't diminish the threat he poses. Lopez remains a dangerous competitor, particularly in the early rounds when his energy is high and his confidence drives his aggression.
Teofimo hurt Shakur with one shot. Can you hurt him clean? He hasn't been a killer, as much of a killer at 140, and after Kambosos, he hasn't been the same in my opinion, but he's still explosive and still dangerous in the first 7 rounds, you know what I'm saying, the first 8 rounds. So I think it's a good fight. I like the fight actually because of that. Teofimo got the explosive punching power on his side and good athleticism, and Shakur has, superior boxer IQ, good range, good distance. So it's great. It's good boxer versus good athlete at this point. So I like the fight. I don't say it's 50-50. I say it's 60-40 Shakur. But I like Teofimo's chances in this fight. You know what I'm saying? If Teofimo makes this a fight and comes out early and attacks and gets right up on
Lopez's standout strength remains his ability to generate sudden, explosive power, even when seemingly out of rhythm or off balance. A single well-timed movement can instantly shift the momentum of a fight. That unpredictability keeps opponents on constant alert, never fully at ease, because control can vanish in a heartbeat. Analysts note that while Lopez's dominance has been inconsistent, his physical tools, speed, strength, and athleticism remain intact. This mix creates a volatile profile, moments of brilliance alongside the potential for costly mistakes. Against a composed, calculating fighter like Stevenson, that volatility is magnified. If timed perfectly, Lopez could produce a defining moment. But if Stevenson maintains distance and dictates the pace, Lopez risks overreaching, missing, and succumbing to frustration.
But it's the feet. The feet is what gets you in position to be able to land those shots. A footwork is extremely important. When I look at both these guys and I look at Shakur's footwork, I look at Teo's footwork, and what I noticed about Teo's footwork in particular is that in order to be able to throw with the amount of power that he has, I've noticed with Teo, there's always a subtle pause before he actually explodes. And Teo's a guy that likes to explode into contact, like to explode into his opponents, man, to land his offense. Fast, twitchy type muscles, fibers. He's extremely fast. Some may say that his twitchiness kind of reminds him of like Roy Jones' type of movements. How quick he's able to close that distance on his opposition.
Tim Bradley sees this fight as a clash of contrasting philosophies: raw explosiveness versus calculated control. In his view, Teofimo Lopez relies on sudden bursts of speed and energy to create offense seemingly out of nowhere. His athleticism and quickness are designed to overwhelm opponents before they find their rhythm. Lopez aims to impose chaos early, forcing reactions and exploiting hesitation with powerful shots capable of instantly swinging the momentum of the fight.
The feet is what gets you in position to be able to land those shots. Footwork is extremely important. When I look at both these guys and I look at Shakur's footwork, I look at Teo's footwork, and what I noticed about Teo's footwork in particular is that in order to be able to throw with the amount of power that he has, I've noticed with Teo, there's always a subtle pause before he actually explodes. And Teo's a guy that likes to explode into contact, like to explode into his opponents, man, to land his offense. Fast, twitchy type muscles, fibers. He's extremely fast. Some may say that his twitchiness kind of reminds him of like Roy Jones' type of movements. How quick he's able to close that distance on his opposition. However, he's in there with a guy that is a master at controlling distance. That's he's a master at literally, getting in his position, right, in the position where he wants to be and taking away your position. And with doing so, he takes away your feet, and that's why I think feet are going to be extremely important in this. If you can keep your opponent off balance. For instance, let me just give you an example. It's like Teo explodes. There's a subtlety before he explodes with his offense. And as soon as Shakur sees that, he's anticipating something to come. He knows he's going to explode in. So what does Shakur do? Teo takes a big step in.
According to Bradley, the outcome won't hinge on who throws the most punches or displays the most aggression. Instead, the winner will be the fighter who controls the pace and positioning of the bout, dictating the rhythm and forcing his opponent to constantly adjust.
It's cool. I mean, that's their opinion. Like, they could say that. But I know he never fought nobody on my level. Like, I'm 1,000,000% sure that Teo has never seen nobody as good as me in his life.
He's talking about, like, once he gets through you, then he wants Crawford, names like that. How do you think he would do against someone like Terrence at this point?
I think he gets knocked out.
Can't even hang with him.
Yeah, he's too little. But it's too big for him.
Right. As far as skills, though, do you think he's on par with the likes of Terrence?
I'm not going to say he's on the Terrence Crawford level of skills, but he's very skillful. He got a lot of things with him that puts him at a high level.
One thing that was interesting to me was it seemed like you were going to move on from Matchroom, but now Eddie Hearn is involved in this, and this is a Matchroom event, it seems like. I know it's a ring card too, but he's promoting it here in the United States. So what is the state of your relationship with Eddie and Matchroom at this point?
Eddie's my guy. I'm actually not signed to Matchroom, but he's my guy. I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn, and nothing but respect to him, but I'm glad he's the promoter that's on his card. I'm glad to share the spotlight with his promotional company.
So if he's your guy, how come you're not signed to Matchroom?
I mean, it's just business. If it makes sense, then I will. You know, if it come down to it and that's what makes sense, then we'll do it. But right now, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so are you just more of like your own man at this point, your own entity?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you negotiate with the ring people, with Turkey? You just do that yourself?
No, me and my manager.
In previewing the fight, Stevenson exudes calm confidence. He doesn't flinch at criticism or let doubt shake him. Rather, he frames the bout as another milestone in his career progression. His assurance comes from preparation, not bravado. Stevenson carries himself like someone who welcomes scrutiny, trusting that his skill will outweigh opinion. This mental steadiness could be key against a fighter as fiery and emotionally driven as Lopez, signaling that he's ready for both the physical and psychological demands of the matchup. That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.